It's 6 o'clock. Well, it's now time for Sports and the Law with our legal analyst, Steve Moskowitz. We have quite a few topics to discuss this evening, and we're going to start with soccer's biggest star. A Spanish court sentenced soccer superstar Leo Messi, let's just call him Leo Messi, so yeah, Leo, and his father to 21 months in jail for tax evasions. Now, this was on money and back taxes, a little over $4 million American, that he owed for money that he earned on his images, on his image, on the royalties from his image. Now, Leo was saying that, hey, I didn't know anything about this. I don't keep a track of my financial affairs. And his dad said, I was told by an expert that this was completely legal because he said that they set off out-of-country accounts as a tax haven, so they wouldn't have to pay those taxes. But regardless, each sentenced to 21 months in jail. They will not see any time in jail. So what's the significance of this? They have it because he has a criminal conviction if he does anything else. It's a bum rap. He's going to appeal. And this reminds me back when you and I were little children and Sophia Loren actually served 30 days for tax. She took the case all the way up to their Supreme Court. It literally took her 40 years to get vindicated. They really take a long time. Their system's a lot different than ours. If this had been the States, he would have not been convicted because you need something called mens rea. What that means is, in addition to doing the illegal act, you had to, at the time, think it was illegal. And people rely on advisors all the time. And you see the Fortune 500 companies that make billions and don't pay any taxes. They do the same thing. They put it offshore. Yeah, but the thing is, can you just claiming ignorance? Is that a defense saying, I didn't know? In a criminal case, it's a perfect defense because you have to form the intent. If you can't form the intent, you have nothing criminal, and that's a big deal in the criminal law. Okay, so Leo was fined roughly $1.8 million American. Should he just pay it and move on? He's already paid the civil portion of it. What he wants to do is clear his name. That's important. You do not want a conviction on your record if you can help it. Right, okay. Well, this is not going to affect his soccer career moving forward, I guess most importantly, and he does have the support of his club, FC Barcelona. So now we're going to move on another international athlete, that of South African Oscar Pistorius, who, remember, the double amputee Olympian, was convicted of murdering his girlfriend in his home. He shot her through the bathroom door. He said he thought she was an intruder. Prosecutors say no, he shot her after the two argued. He was sentenced to 6 years in prison, so he received his sentence when 15 years is the mandate in South Africa. After reviewing this case, what does a 6-year decision by the judge tell you? First of all, their system's very different than ours. In the States, that wouldn't have happened because the first judge is already sentenced. This would have been double jeopardy here. But essentially what happened, the prosecution appealed. The judge here said there were mitigating factors that he wasn't as bad as the typical 15-year sentence. But a big problem that I had with the case, even though I'm a defense attorney, is a basic rule of firearms. You never shoot what you can't see. You don't know what's behind that door. That's where it made a big mistake. And it was strange because an intruder in his home in the bathroom, which is not the front door, they don't normally hang out there. It's well into the home. So, but unfortunately, just not a good case for anyone involved. No. Very disappointing. Let's move over back to the United States. And a California federal judge has ruled that they will dismiss 2 former minor league players as the lead plaintiffs in a class action lawsuit against Major League Baseball. Now, in the class action lawsuit, the former minor league players, there are a bunch of them, are suing Major League Baseball for, they say, money they are owed for overtime, extra work. They're just underpaid. And the federal judge said, yes, these 2 plaintiffs who cannot comply with all the rigors of being lead plaintiffs in a class action suit can be dismissed as the lead plaintiffs, but still receive any type of payment or settlement in a class action suit. But Major League Baseball wanted to depose them before that. The judge said no. What is the significance of this ruling? Well, the significance is something technical, because if it was class action, you have to opt out or you're automatically included. In the way the judge changed it, you have to opt in. So what means these players get a letter and then they have to go ahead and read it and say, yes, I want to be part of that. And a lot of people just toss those letters. So there's a lot of people that will probably not join this suit because they're tossing it, and therefore they're not going to opt in, not going to be part of it. In their cases, basically, they're claiming they're making about $3,300 a year. Right. They're way below what they should be paid. And then we talk about the economic aspects of Major League Baseball. Boo-hoo, they can afford to pay them more money. And then how it'll affect the towns if they cut back. Essentially, the minor leagues is to baseball what college is to football and basketball. Yeah, do you think that this class action lawsuit has legs? It might, because the guys are getting paid so low. And you look at other things like the cheerleaders and others saying, hey, we're getting paid below minimum wage, and all of a sudden, and usually a settlement happens, but the judge has to approve it in this type of case, they bring the salaries up. That's usually what happens. Okay, how concerning is this class action lawsuit to Major League Baseball, you think?
Well, every lawsuit you're concerned with, but it's not going to change anything. And if they have to pay the guys more, they'll either raise ticket prices or they're going to cut some guys out of the league. And they say, well, you're just too low. We're just going to cut out that level, save the money, which will adversely affect the towns that they play in.
All they have to do is get him a better bus, and I think they would be fine.
You have to play on Michael Jordan's team to get a better bus.
Exactly. Okay, Steve Moskowitz, our legal analyst, as always, thanks so much. Always an education for me when you're here. When we come back on Sports Talk Live, the Warriors with Kevin Durant have